Yeah, I'm definitely not one of the paid actors to show off the smile for the new Smile 2 film. As you can tell, it shows my double chin, which is probably not that great to look at. That being said, since the second one just came out, I decided, why not revisit the first Smile movie and give you guys a proper review. This, of course, will be another film collected to our Halloween special edition of this month, as I am trying again, of course, to have 30 reviews for 30 horror films in celebration of Halloween, my favorite time of the year. Now, I have not got to see the second one. I was going to go watch it Thursday. Financial situation, have been trying to make sure to get enough money to pay my bills and have been working plus door dashing. So unfortunately, I'm going to probably go see that tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Now, with the first one, I honestly thought it was actually a film I wasn't going to enjoy, just as when the first trailer came out. It looked, and I hate dogging Blumhouse, but they've made a lot of horror films lately, and they're either hit or miss, and that's kind of how this one felt. It didn't look like it was going to be anything major, and after watching the first one, I was completely wrong. And now watching it a second time, the details that the director puts in it, I did not really catch the first time, and I really enjoyed seeing it the second time. With that being said, let's get into the Smile review, shall we? Now, Smile follows Rose Cotter, who's played by Susie Bacon, witnessing a bizarre traumatic incident involving her patient, who's played by Caitlin Stasey. The psychiatrist becomes increasingly convinced she is being threatened by an uncanny entity that is going to break her from the inside out till she is dead. Rose begins realizing it is reality and is on the clock to figure out how to stop what happened to her patient from happening to her as she goes down a rabbit hole, finding out that this suicidal chain has been going on for some time. Now, with that being said, this will be a spoiler review as it's been out for quite a while. But I want to say, start with the reason I feel like I enjoyed this film so much was just because of the freshness and the eeriness it brought at times, and not just relying on the jump scares to have jump scares and to make this film special. You don't come across films a lot of times when they're creating a new, say, creature or scary monster and providing some new rules and along the lines that actually work instead, set in stone. But at times, the camera work and what the director decides to do with his creativeness, it just works. You expect something one way, and then he brings it a different way, and I love that creativeness, and it does get you to jump at times. So, Sosi, I don't know how to pronounce your name, I'm sorry, but she does a phenomenal job during this film as it progresses. As the film progresses, I can fucking talk. God dang it. Her facial expressions begin to get more severe, and I don't know if she just actually didn't sleep to film these scenes. She does a very good job just with how she speaks, showing how exhausted her character is, how on edge she is, just how she approaches it over time throughout this film. She didn't just come in doing it half-assed job as you would expect, and I just appreciated what she did with the character and what she brought to the table. I'm also in my line of work being a therapist in the mental health field. It sometimes put me in the shoes of what would I do in this situation, and honestly, that kind of scares the shit out of me sometimes, envisioning this could have possibly be, a reality of what could happen, and not fully, listening to your patient and finding out that it was actually true. Something else I noticed when watching this film that, the character from one of my favorite shows growing up was in a brief scene, and honestly did not know she was in this the first time I watched it, and I had to pause the movie just to double check it the second time. But Judy Reyes, she plays Carla in Scrubs, if you guys aren't aware. She has a scene, discussing with the main character what happened to her husband, and she does a great job, and honestly, didn't know, she's aged, and it just made me sad because, God, I miss Scrubs. But with that being said, going to the cast of this film, it had a decent supporting cast from Kyle Gallner, who I wish got more to do and a little bit more screen time, to Cal Penn, to Jesse T. Usher, another decent actor. So, you have a dude who appeared in multiple horror movie films over the years in Cal Gallner, such as he appeared in, the remake of The Nightmare on Elm Street and a few other ones, other horror films. To Harold being in this film, to A-Train being in this film. It's going to give others to enjoy, you know, the film a little bit more when they notice that these characters are in here, all these actors are in here, and you kind of notice them. I tend to like more films like that in situations where I'm like, oh, I love that actor in this show or this film, and, you know, just provides a little bit more, I don't know, knowledge and confidence in watching films sometimes when you notice that type of shit. Then also, lastly, and it's not lastly, but, you know, one of the other big key points I want to kind of point out with this film is giving Parker Finn his flowers, as he somehow managed to write and direct not only Smile, but now Smile 2, and create a new little horror franchise with his only experience being 2 short films. It's just impressive in my view. I would love to, you know, find out how he went from 2 short films to getting a green light to create Smile out of the studio. That's just unheard of sometimes, and I think that's pretty cool. But he really does a good job in his directing debut with this film. And giving it a good sense of, you know, on your edge feeling and putting you on your edge of your seat in that sense, and eeriness at times. But he also adds some jump scares and provides 2 memorable scenes. I can't, dude, if you're watching this, comment and tell me I'm just a dumbass. I cannot say these words tonight. I'm sorry. But scenes in which his, you know, her sister is the entity, and it bends her neck over, like snaps her neck upside down while knocking on her car door. And then the final scene of the film where, you know, the twist showing that the entity won, and the design of the creature was very, very well done. And something I feel a lot of films don't very hit often is creating an interesting creature, which I feel like this film really did, and provided us with some interesting lore while building the foundation to create this world that we're now getting a second film in. The dude deserves credit, and from what I heard, Smile 2, he has kind of even evolved, and hopefully by the time this video goes up, and I'll be excited to kind of see that film tomorrow. I truly don't believe I really have any negative to say about this film besides the pacing at times being a little too slow. I feel some things could have been cut down maybe 5 to 10 to 15 minutes, but that's just a small gripe. Also, just wanting a little bit more answers from where this thing came from, but, you know, I love it leaving to imagination at times, but I feel like too much imagination damages my experience, and hope they provide a little bit more detail in the second film. That might just be me, but like I said, that's just something I'm going to gripe about. And in the ending of the film, seeing the character we've been following eventually lose and kill herself by seeing her set herself on fire was honestly something I didn't really expect to happen that first time. But, you know, taking that risk and leaving the door open for the sequel has me excited to see what they do next. I am kind of scared because I wanted to see Kyle Gallner as the main star of the second film, but from what I've heard, the actress that is the main girl in the second one, who was the Pink Power Ranger, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, is supposedly giving an Oscar-worthy performance in a horror movie. And I've also heard the second ending of the second film is going to be even crazier, and I'm excited to see what that is. I'm trying to stay off, you know, all the shit, TikTok and everything, to avoid it. But it's, you know, exciting to see that it possibly is going to open a door for an even crazier third film. But with that being said, I give Smile a strong 8 out of 10. I do recommend you guys giving it a shot if you have not watched it. It is on Peacock, I believe. I watched it on again the other night. And then the second one is in theaters now, so, you know, it's a perfect time. It's Halloween. There's not a lot of horror movies out right now besides Smile 2 and Terrifier 3. So if you guys get a chance, check both those movies out. As always, please like the video, please subscribe to the channel if you're new, and please, you know, keep supporting my non-English ass, because I cannot say big words. I got a master's degree and I can't say memorable. You see it. I'm tired. I'm done trying. Have a good week, guys. I love you guys.